Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Westlife. I thank everyone for joining me today, and we are gonna be grilling some Applewood smoked Filipino pork chops. And I'm not gonna mess around, we're just gonna get right into it. We've got the charcoal going, and we got the chimney. If you have not seen my chimney video, please go to my channel and check that out. It explains everything how to use a charcoal chimney. So we got that going. So for this recipe, we're gonna have some big, thick, bone-in cut pork chops here. And then we're gonna have a marinade, which is a very, very simple Filipino marinade that my wife actually showed me and introduced to me. We use this for everything. It's very simple. It's basically 5 ingredients. So we got the garlic, we got our onion, we got lime, we got soy sauce, and then we're gonna use a chili. You can use any type of chili that you want to. You could use it for the heat, or you could use it for just the flavor itself. So you could use a habanero, or you could use a Thai chili. That's what I'm gonna be using. Or you could use a jalapeno or a serrano if you like to heat mildly. So these delicious babies here. And so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna season these chops up. We got some pink Himalayan sea salt, and we got some fresh black and green peppercorns. I like to go a little heavier on the pepper. Just keep in mind that the soy sauce it's going to be marinating in is very salty, so maybe just go a little lighter on your salt. And we're gonna do the other side. We're gonna set the pork chops aside, and we're gonna get right into the marinade. So for this recipe, you really cannot mess this up, so do not be discouraged by certain ratios of any kind. And then it's also gonna depend on how thick your pork chops are. So since I do have very thick pork chops, I'm gonna go a little heavier on the soy sauce and the marinade. I think I'm gonna go, that's a good amount of soy sauce there. What do we got, 3/4 of a cup? That's just fine. I'm gonna put it in a mixing bowl. And then we got our garlic, our onion. I don't know if I'm going to use all this onion here. Yeah, that's probably enough. Now we got our lime. So for this recipe, 1 lime should do you good. You could probably use 2 too. Again, it all depends on how big those pork chops are. You could use a lime squeezer, but I'm going to put a little bit of muscle into it. Just squeeze them by hand. Alright, and that should do that. And then I mentioned the chili. So this right here, this is not tomato sauce or spaghetti sauce. This is a wonderful, super spicy chili sauce that my beautiful wife makes, and it is hot. But this is made out of Thai chilies, and that's my preferred heat. We're gonna put a good amount of that in there. You could just cut up, I would say, I don't know, 2 to 3 Thai chili, whatever you wanted to use. So we got that all together, and we're just gonna mix that marinade right on up. And then you could just use a gallon-sized freezer bag. Alright. Oh yeah, and these are just some big old pork chops. Look at those. Really nice. And we got our marinade, and whoo-wee, God, does that smell absolutely delicious. I just love this marinade. And it's so easy. Just take your marinade, bam, pour it right all over those pork chops. And this is where using a freezer bag is so handy. You just want to make sure that they're really covered, and look at that. God, that just looks fantastic. And then try to get as much air out of it as you can. I just give it a little vacuum seal myself. Again, make sure most of the air is out of it. Get it real good and soaked up there. And then usually what I do is I have it just like that, and I put it in the refrigerator. Anywhere from 2 to 4 hours is going to be your best results. This is what it would look like 2 to 4 hours later. These babies are already good and marinated. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick little break. I'm gonna let the charcoal finish firing up. I'm gonna dump it, and then we're gonna get ready to put those pork chops on the grill. And we're back. The charcoal is ready, the smoke is cleared, and the flames are starting to come up. So we're gonna go ahead and dump them. So our charcoal is ready to go, and I'm gonna introduce Applewood smoking chips, and I've had them soaking for roughly 30 minutes. Always want to be careful when moving the hot grate around, so some good old grill mitts is always handy. And so I really want these to be infused with that smoke flavor, so I'm gonna really go heavy with it. We're gonna put a lot of these on there. Just one other thing that I would strongly suggest, if your grill is not already, if you don't use it a whole lot, you might just want to put a little olive oil on this, or you know, whatever your oil of preference is. But we're gonna get these on the grill. And you can see these have been marinating for a little while. Like I said before, all this stuff is just fine on it. The onions, the garlic, that is all good. I don't like to waste this marinade, so I'm not going to put the coals out, but I am going to just kind of drizzle it over there a little bit. One thing I am going to do, I'm just going to kind of check them and make sure they're not super sticking. Alright, and we're going to put the lid on. And I'm gonna close the air vents about halfway, and we're gonna leave these on for probably roughly, I'd say, depending on how thick your chops are, but these are thick, so I'm gonna leave them on for probably 7 to 8 minutes. All right, well, we better check these chops. You can see that smoke is really doing its magic, really infusing these babies, which is just what I'm looking for. So it's basically a speed smoke. And let's check this side here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's just what we're looking for. And honestly, this is a very, very fast process. Pork cooks pretty quickly, especially when it's, you know, not a whole pork loin or anything like that. Oh yeah, that's just what we're looking for. That is just fantastic. You can see the nice grill marks, but you can also see the smoke. The smoke in the meat itself. I'm gonna leave the lid off just for about a minute to kind of let the let the heat kick back up before I cover them once again. So we'll be back in just a few minutes and checking that out. I don't want this sauce to go to waste at all, and it is really flavorful, so I'm just gonna dump it over these chops again, and it'll be fine because they're still gonna cook just a little bit. God, those look great. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so we're gonna cover them up, I'd say probably about 5 minutes, and honestly, they're not gonna be taking too much longer. They'll be done fairly quick. All right, so it's been about 5 more minutes, and we're gonna check these chops. These chops are looking fantastic, but one thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull them off and we're gonna check them with a thermometer just to be safe and see. I would really say that they gotta be close to being done. But like I said, we'll double check. I got a digital thermometer here that I've been using for many, many years. It's got a metal cord on it, so you can actually have it in thicker meat while it's cooking on the grill. So it is a handy tool. We're gonna put it right into the middle here. Let's see what this says here. Ooh, 167. So we were looking for about 165, and I got it set on pork here, so it's letting us know that it's done. But what we're looking for is a temperature between 165 and 170 is usually the pork temperature being done. And I'm gonna tent them, cover them in foil, so they can rest for 5 minutes, and then they'll be ready to go. This is a common method people use to cover their cooked meat, and it's called tenting. You basically cover the meat but have just a couple open sides so it can breathe just a little bit, and it's kind of like a tent. All right, so these babies have rested for about 7 to 10 minutes, and let's check them out. Whoo-wee! Wow, just fantastic. All right, so these are thicker chops, but I believe that they're just good to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of them, I'm gonna put it on this board here, and we're just gonna have to cut this baby open just a little bit to see how she looks. Oh yeah, see that juice? Yep, very, very juicy still. That's where that thermometer comes in handy, because these are just so thick that sometimes you just, you know, it's hard to eyeball a pork chop that's this thick. Wow. All right, wow, look at that. That's so amazing. I just gotta give this a try here. So juicy. Oh my God. That is so flavorful. Just absolutely delicious. You can taste the soy sauce, the lime. There you have it. Applewood smoked Filipino pork chops. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. If you do like my videos, please consider subscribing and liking. And as always, keep coming with me on West Life. Thank you so much and have a great day.